Okay, before we start this episode, guys, the three of us are starting the Front Three Podcast FPL League. The link is in the description. Go ahead and join right now to win hefty cash prizes or even a club jersey of your favorite club, which is signed by the three of us. So go ahead, join right now. Join. Top three players get prizes. Let's get on with the episode.
Hey guys, we're back, and in this segment, we'll be going over Krishna's man in our drafts, and Karan sir is just gonna pitch in and give his thoughts. So, take over, Krishna. I think this is yours.
Right, so this is my team. I'll just go over my player choices. Starting from the back, I've got Sanchez and Foster. Both are good options. I've gone for Foster, obviously. He's the 4 million option. Hopefully, he gets a few minutes in. But let's see. Sanchez is the main keeper for now. Brighton have got fairly decent fixtures. Coming to my defense, Shaw, Alexander Arnold, and Digne. Shaw and Alexander Arnold, I think, then majority of the teams. And Digne, I've got him primarily because Everton fixtures are quite solid. At least the starting, I'd say 6 to 8 are solid. So he has clean sheet potentials. Plus, he provides that attacking option as well. And then
So
coming to the mid,
I had a question for your defense. Like overall, your team seems decent, but do you think you've invested a little too much into your defense so that your attack maybe might have dropped slightly?
maybe, man, I think so too. That's why my forward is looking a little, bleak. But let's see. I might make changes, but yeah, I think you're right. And coming to my mid, it's pretty template except for Barnes. And I really wanted a Leicester player in there, so I just went for him. It was either him or Madison, but I went for Harvey Barnes. And again, forward Tony, he's in most teams. Has the potential to be a great differential. Antonio, West Ham, they have good fixtures. Let's see, he's a 7.5. I didn't want to go for Watkins, so I've gone for Ings. Let's see what he can do.
Go
I
ahead, go
mean,
ahead.
this looks like very similar to my team. Just for everyone watching, this is the ideal use of the bench. You should have one player who will definitely play. So Cody is there. The other two should be players which might get some minutes, but they don't have to play. So Gibbs White might get some minutes, so that's fair enough. So in case you need him, he'll chip in those 2 points. I think he's not very nailed on. He should be the start of the season, but the in the middle of the season he might get benched very often. So I think Gilmore is the preferred one of Brownhill. But don't expect anything. Just 2 points should be enough. So any player who's 4.5 should be there. And Amarte as well. So he started at the start of the season, he's perfectly at 4 million. But the distribution of the funds is perfect. The team is really similar to mine as well. And I think it's a decent team. Maybe I would switch Digne to someone like Kufal. And if you have 0.5 in the bank, I would switch Digne to a Diaz.
Okay.
The other thing, probably in case you want, you can go Ben Rama instead of Rafinha and Digne to Diaz if you don't have funds.
But are you sure? Are you like 100% sure? Because obviously City do get clean sheets, and we've seen that before in the last season. But I mean, they don't have hard fixtures. I wouldn't say they have hard fixtures because they're able to cope up with each game they play. So are you sure? Are you certain of the fact that Diaz will be able to keep those clean sheets and might get maybe, let's say, a goal or something from a heading return or something?
I don't expect goals from Diaz for sure. I mean, he does well for Portugal in terms of those headers. I've seen him do well, but for City somehow he doesn't do that well. Although I mean, yes, he's 6 million and you're not getting goal threat, but that's the 0.5 you're paying for a guaranteed City player. So I think it's worth the bargain, and he's in defense. So yeah, you can go for Stones later on, but Stones will miss game week 1 and 2 possibly because he hasn't returned to the training camp yet. So for start, you can go Diaz, switch on to Stones later on. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my team. I mean, you can see the three Liverpool players. I mean, I'm pretty Liverpool biased, but so starting off with my keeper. So I mean, I got Allison and Sanchez. Might be a little stupid to spend so much on my keepers, but I mean, I have faith in Liverpool and I have faith in Allison to go on with at least for the first 5-6 game weeks. He will get quite a lot of clean sheets as well. I mean, look at my defense. I've spent quite a lot on my defense. So Alexander Arnold, we all know that he does get those attacking returns, and Liverpool probably will get a lot of clean sheets at the start. Dine is, I mean, I wouldn't say a complete differential, but if you look at other ownerships and other teams, many people haven't included him. So that's one of the reasons why I got Dine. And similarly, same for Castani. I mean, if you look at their starting, fixtures for Leicester. Bargain. I wouldn't say bargain because obviously isn't price cheap. And Salah, without a doubt, I have to get Salah in my team. Then I got Fernandez as well. Obviously he does get those attacking returns, and like Salah, he also takes pens for United. Rafinha, I was actually overthinking. I have one Rafinha in my team, but these starting fixtures that he does have, so I might get Rafinha out of my team. Then we got Suchek. I mean, Suchek again, he does play that central role for West Ham, but he has gone those attacking returns. He gets behind those balls. He gets a lot of headers and all. So I was actually pretty impressed by Todd Cantwell's Premiership season, and the way that he plays. Uh, wouldn't be the smartest to keep him against Liverpool, but you never know, because right now in the Premier League last season, most unexpected season, anything can really happen. So I've just gotten him as well. And Calvert-Lewin, I think you said Calvert-Lewin is injured, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll probably have to rethink this Calvert-Lewin decision. And Antonio I've gone because of his fixtures, and the last season he got 118 points. I mean, decent for an attacker considering he was out for so long. So yeah, and my bench is Ben White, Perico, and Reed. So not too many starters there on my bench, but I think hoping Ben White will be there. So yeah.
So yeah, I mean I do have a problem with the 6 million keeper, unfortunately. Be it Alisson or not. I mean, and the faith a Liverpool fan has in Norwich attack is also decent. I am not sure, and historically in the last 2 seasons, Liverpool haven't started great defensively. So in the first 6, 7 fixtures, they do concede goals. So it's just a top of the tip. I don't think you should irrespectively go for a 6 million keeper. And I've seen a lot of people do this where they put in two keepers who have a rotational pair. So like one keeper has a good fixture where the other has a tougher one, and then you can switch them. This will never work, and this never does for two reasons: because it's very hard to predict when the clean sheet will come, and you want your keeper to get those 10 points, like save points plus 3 bonus. That won't happen in an easy fixture, because if it's an easy fixture, your team is playing well overall, so the defenders will get bonus as well. You will have less shots to save. A 10 pointer usually comes against maybe a City or a Liverpool or a Leeds, so in generally a tougher fixture. So it's best to keep one keeper and set and forget, because you'll get the entire points he scores. So if he scores 150, you'll get the entire 150. You won't miss out on the 10 pointer hauls. Castani is out, unfortunately, as well. Although, if you want to go for the lesser attack, Ricardo is doing really, really good. So Ricardo is a direct replacement there.
So actually, I had initially gone Lamptey instead of Castagna, but I think he's injured now. So yeah, I got him out as well.
Yeah, Castagna is injured as well. So probably Ricardo, he did very well yesterday as well in the Community Shield game.
Yeah. Mid, I think I wouldn't say, I mean, I've kind of mixed up my mid's price because it just starts on Salah and then dips to Cantwell.
I would say there are 3 things you can look at. For Souček to probably Smith Rowe, because Smith Rowe is more attacking, for sure. Cantwell, if you want a Norwich player, go for Rashica. I think he's the one who drifts inside, plays besides Pukki, and he's the forward then. So if there is goal threat, I think Rashica is more likely to be scoring goals than Cantwell. And yeah, in case you can upgrade them, obviously somehow that's better. If you downgrade Alisson, you'll get the money. Lewin, fine. If he's fit, he's a good pick. The fixtures are incredible, obviously. And Antonio, I have him as well. I really like Antonio, just for the sake of it. Just for the dance he does after the goal, I just love it.
So now moving to Smayan, your team.
I know this seems like a very amateur team, because it is, and it's a justification-wise. Martinez again, I got him for that fact. I didn't know actually that Sanchez was performing that well. I just knew that Martinez is more or less a guaranteed clean sheet. Yeah, and so solid choice. And I have to replace Konate because I don't think he'll be starting that much for Liverpool, as we previously discussed. I got Rudiger, but he's also susceptible to yellow cards sometimes, and I have to change him.
I think Rudiger is a decent pick after all. The fixtures are slightly iffy when you look at the first 6 fixtures, but after that, there's a sea of like really, really easy fixtures. And I think Rudiger is one of those players who will not get rotated as well.
I'll be honest, I think Van Bissaka is also injured right now, so I'll have to get rid of him. And Tierney I chose because he also sometimes gets that output and plays well, but again, it's quite dicey. And Again, when Havertz and Mount also have to choose, I think I should pick one and not keep both the Chelsea midfielders. I'm just looking for advice here. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Uh, so, so first of all, don't spend a lot on your bench. Your bench has like all of them start, but they're expensive starters. So stick to a 4 million defender for sure as your fifth defender. Get a 4.5 million midfielder as your fifth midfielder. You can switch to a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2. In that case, get a cheap striker, but basically have 4.5 million players on your bench, not more. And when you look at the second keeper, keep it to 4 million if possible. Uh, don't go without Bruno or Salah. They are standout captaincy options almost every, because it doesn't matter who they play. They tend to score. There are players like that. So if you in this team you might find someone who's a decent captaincy option in one game week, maybe the other. But those two are blindly captain options. You just can't ignore them. You have to have one of them in the team. I really liked Havertz, and I had him in my team as well. But then Lukaku is coming now, so the problem is that he no longer will be in the false nine role.
Yeah.
Which was I would love to see him there, and he was doing really really good as well. Now he'll be shifted to right forward, right winger. It depends on what Tuchel plans. Maybe a man two strikers. Let's see. So basically, there's rotation risk now as well. So I'm not that sure of Havertz. Although between Mount and Havertz, he's the better one. Between all the Chelsea midfielders, Havertz is the better one. And yeah, apart from that, it's decent. Yeah. I mean, it is. A lot of people say that these players you should go for. I mean, it's subjective. If you and I really like the Tierney pick because yes, he's slightly injury prone, which is why a lot of people don't pick him. But he's a really good differential because he has two difficult fixtures in game week 2 and 3, City and I think Leicester. I'm not sure, or Tottenham. Chelsea maybe. I'm not sure who they play in 2 and 3. I think they play City for sure in 2 or 3. But then they have a very good run of fixtures ahead, so it's a decent pick.
So, Smain, I hope you've taken those words of wisdom. Now, I think we've gone over everyone's team and we've all gotten the feedback that I think we're anticipating. And I think now everyone's just super excited for the season. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for tuning in and watching this segment, guys.
Signing off.
Signing off.